Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today we are doing a yes or no pick a card reading for career questions. I know that I haven't done a career reading for a while, so you can use this for career. Some of you might want to use it for study. It should give similar answers because to me that's both like profession or occupation, so that's what we're doing today. As you can see, we've got 4 piles because I'm going to try and make the readings a little bit quicker than normal so that I have time to get through 4 rather than 3, but we will be using charms, dice and the Wheel of Wisdom as well, so there is a lot to get through, guys. So what you need to do is just look at the piles. I'm going to show you the little pictures that I've put on each of them and think of your question, a yes or no question. I will be trying to kind of guess what question you are asking while I'm shuffling, just because I imagine that the cards will be interpreted slightly differently depending on the question you're asking, so I will be trying to do that as well, and I'll say, you know, if this is what you're asking, then this is your answer, etc. So expect some diversity in the piles anyway, like within each pile. As always, a big thank you to all of my lovely patrons, including Alex, Alexandra, Kat, Ashley, Jeanette and Kelly. Thank you so much for your support. It really means the world to me. Thank you as well to everyone who's donated to the channel via PayPal. You are so generous, and everyone who has sent in a new deck for me from my Amazon wishlist. Thank you so much to everyone who's done that. It really means a lot to me. So without any further ado, I'm going to show you the piles. So on pile 1, we've got this little ghost. They're all pictures of a little ghost, and he is sunbathing in this kind of inflatable ring in a pool, and we'll be using the Fairy Tarot for pile 1, so just focus on your question. It's okay if you have more than one question, you can choose more than one pile, but I would probably say focus on one question first and then watch the reading and then come back with your next question so that you don't get confused with your intuition. So pile 2 is the ghost as a little hula dancer, and we are using the Sun and Moon Tarot for that one. And I'm sorry if you hear some noise from outside today. There's like a lot of banging going on because there's a lot of things being unloaded from a huge van. Pile 3, the ghost is trying to protect these mushrooms from the rain, and we're using the Happy Tarot for that pile. And pile 4, the ghost is drinking bubble tea, and we are using the Deviant Moon Tarot for that pile. So whichever pile or piles you're feeling drawn to, it's okay to pick more than one pile, but I think for this one it's probably best if you do try to narrow it down to one pile per question. That will be the reading for you. I would say don't go by the picture that you find the cutest or the deck that you prefer, just go by whichever one you're feeling intuitively drawn to. So if I just show you the pictures again, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. It's fine to pause the video if you need more time, but when you're ready, I'm going to get started now with pile number 1. Hey there, if you chose pile 1 with the little ghost sunbathing and the Fairy Tarot, then this is your reading. I wanted to try and stand this up. Maybe I can do that because I think it's quite a cute picture. I've got loads of these little things, so they might also make an appearance in my videos alongside all my little soft toys and other things like that. So let me shuffle some cards for you, group 1. Feel free to follow the channel on Instagram as well for daily cards. The link to that is in the description box and on top of the timestamps comment. Okay. So, group 1. Okay, so let's see what we've got here, group 1. We have 8 of Winter, 8 of Swords. You have what it takes if only you believe in yourself. Thinking that you're powerless when you're not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. Then we have 3 of Autumn, 3 of Pentacles. Follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do. Being compensated for your creative talents. Ego, the Devil card. The illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear and worry. So that's the theme that's coming through. Fear and worry. 10 of Autumn, 10 of Pentacles. Take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honouring family traditions. And then we've got the Star. Look to the future with hope and optimism, the power of faith to move mountains, happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. Okay, so what I'm seeing with these cards, group 1, is I feel like a lot of you are asking maybe if you're going to get a promotion, or if you should go for this new job, or if you should try and get this job, for example. And I think that you are holding yourself back because of fear or a lack of confidence. Maybe some of you are worried because you've got a new job offer, but it means moving away, or it means going into an entirely new sphere of work, or it even means a pay cut. And so you're worried about that, which I do understand, but I feel as though whatever you're asking about here, it seems like it has a happy ending, and the main issue here is the way that you are thinking about it in your mind, the way that you're framing it, because I think some of you are kind of making it worse than it is by the way that you're thinking, if that makes sense. You're kind of making it scarier or more worrying than it should be because you're thinking of all of the what ifs, and it's saying that that's not the most helpful thing to focus on at the moment. But let's get you some oracle cards as well. Try and narrow it down. Whoa, you guys, look. Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. Definitely a lot of you are underestimating yourselves or holding yourselves back because you're afraid. A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. I forgot to say as well that when I got the tarot cards, I saw Capricorn and Aquarius coming through there. I feel as though also some of you are worried about not getting along with colleagues. And I feel like that's also something that you shouldn't worry about, because we've got some cards here indicating that colleagues will be nice, or that issues with co-workers are going to resolve quite peacefully for you. Okay, then you have Wings of Light. So that's a card massively about healing with the angels. So that does make me wonder if some of you have had bad experiences in the past that have affected your confidence, or whether some of you just have been applying for jobs for so long and have been so disheartened by it that it's almost made you scared to go back out there. I think possibly some of you are also worried about just getting back to work after having been furloughed or working from home for a long time. I think some of you really struggle with anxiety. Interacting with people seems to be overwhelming for you at this time. And this is just saying be kind to yourself and try not to overthink it, because I think that's partly what is causing this issue for you, group 1. Hansel, survival, number 4. Definitely you will survive this situation. If you've been having problems with co-workers, if you're worried that co-workers are going to be spiteful, or that if you try and leave your job, someone's going to make problems for you, I don't see that happening in the end. It feels almost like what you're worrying about isn't going to happen. If you're worried that you won't be offered a job, I also think that you will get that job, or that you will get a job offer that is acceptable for you. Okay, then we have Dry Desert. Sorry guys, I knocked the camera over there, but we got Dry Desert, number 31. And just before I read from the guidebook for that card, I want to get a card from another deck, because I always read from the guidebooks for 2 of these decks, so I just think it makes sense to do it at the same time. And then we'll get some more cards, and then your charms, dice, and Wheel of Wisdom. Okay, so then we have King of Forces in the reverse. Okay, so let's read Dry Desert first of all. So this says, dig deep for inspiration and truth. Now is the time to become resilient and adaptable. Is your life presenting you with opportunities that seem to yield nothing? Have your ideas dried up? Does it feel like you're on an endless journey through a dry, hot, lifeless desert? This card reminds you that there are times when you're meant to become resilient as you journey through harsher circumstances. You're being required to conserve your energy until, after consistent effort, you reach the oasis you're searching for. Consider the creatures that live in these conditions. They have adapted to thrive in spite of the outer environment. In a desert, water essential for life can be found deep underground. Go within yourself now and find your truth there. Let spirit sustain you while you locate the real source. Okay, so I feel like this is saying that issues here are being created by what's on the inside. I feel like it's also saying that you feel as though you have been in a situation where you felt stuck for quite some time, and that was what I was getting before, that for a lot of you, you've had anxiety for a while, or you've been applying for jobs for a long time and haven't seemed to get anything, or you've just been really doubting your abilities for some time, or worried about something in the future coming up. For example, like a return to work or a change that you need to make, and this is just saying that you've been dragging on for so long. And then we've got this survival card right next to it, which just seems to be like a message saying that you will survive this harsh desert climate. So let's get also the King of Forces in the reverse. So this is representing a time of depleted forces, inertia, or scattered energy. Career-wise, there may be the loss of a position for someone in an industry natural to the King of Forces, which includes electronics, astronomy, physics, geology, alternative fuel, any of the earth sciences, and new industries in environmental care. It can also indicate a man with disruptive energy who may be out of balance in his own life, which imbalances others as well, including you. Sometimes there are obvious signs of negativity, such as anger, hostility, or even depression. Other times the vibrations may be subtle and hard to recognize, but he is likely to be selfish or self-absorbed. Be conscious and aware, because he could be very charming on the surface but manipulative underneath. So I feel as though this is saying that some of you have been dealing with toxic people at work, or with very overbearing bosses and managers. And I feel like that's about to change. I feel as though this person is about to lose their position, as this said, or like they are about to be found out for the way that they've been treating people. And I definitely get, just in general, that it is representing this scattered energy that I was feeling from you guys, that you have been feeling very on edge, very worried about something. Ishchel, Medicine Woman, you are a channel for divine healing power. So definitely healing is on the way for you. That does seem to be a message here about stabilizing your energy, feeling happier within your own self. Then we have number 44, vision. So having a clear idea of what you want, keeping that idea firmly in your mind. Maybe visualization will help you with your situation, because especially if you tend to worry a lot, or if you tend to catastrophize the situation, then trying to see it as you would ideally like it, and picture that, and picture yourself, you know, going through the situation very calmly and happily, that might be helpful to you as like a coping mechanism. Wow, then we have reaching your destination. Your light is shining brightly. So definitely there is this sense of completion or sense of achievement on its way for you. Just get you one more card, group 1. Frage deine Engel. Ask your angels. Okay, so you have actually got quite a few mentions of angels in this reading. You've got this one, and then this one as well kind of looks like an angelic figure to me. So I think some of you naturally work with angels anyway, or you have been asking angels for help or guidance in this situation. Basically what I'm seeing so far, I'm going to do the charms in a moment, is that some of you are worried about returning to work, or not getting a job offer, or changing your job in some way, and the cards are saying don't worry, because that worry is going to stop you from making the right decisions, or it's going to hold you back from enjoying the actual situation. Some of you are worried about something that's happening at work, like issues with co-workers, or you're worried that that will happen in the future. For example, if you report someone, or if you move workplaces, you're worried people will make it difficult for you. I don't see that happening, if I'm honest. I also see you coming out of this situation on top, feeling like you've survived or even achieved something. So that's what I'm getting for you so far, group 1, but we'll get your charms and dice now. So group 1. Okay. So what have we got here? We've got the letter W, and the letter O. So those could be people's names, surnames, place names, company names. Could be words that come to you, but don't worry if nothing does. It might just be for a few people. We've got a winter charm there with Father Christmas. So winter seems to be important here. That might be when something changes for you, or it might be when you are planning to make a change. Seeing things clearly, you will see the situation clearly. You are protected at this time. Got this lovely umbrella. Goddess Freya is coming through for you in this reading. Norse goddess of love and beauty. I'm just checking if there's any others. No. I think you're also overanalyzing this situation a little bit, because we've got the binoculars there and also the hairdryer, which is about blowing hot and cold, that energy of uncertainty, not being sure of what to do or where to move forward. So that's saying really looking into the details is not going to be helpful for you right now. It's important to take a step back and just go based on what you know. I feel as though this situation is going to unfold slowly. When I get the gingerbread man, it's like a slow burn, something that takes a while to cook, something that takes a while to complete. You're being asked to treat yourself with a little muffin charm there, take care of yourself, and know that things will measure up to your expectations as well. So keep those expectations positive, because I feel like if you go into this situation expecting something awful to happen, or expecting not to get that job, or expecting people to stand in your way, then that is what's going to happen. But I feel as though it's not, because now you've watched this reading, you're going to try and combat any negative self-destructive thought patterns, any worries, etc. We've got the leaf there, so releasing something, leaving something behind. And eternal love, so that's my past life love connection charm, but that may mean that you are planning to do something in your career that you've always wanted to do, and in fact you've always wanted to do it because it is something you've done in a previous lifetime, or it is connected to a previous life in some way for you. You've got this beautiful big key there on reaching your destination, which indicates that you will succeed here. You will find a solution to this situation. Also with the mermaid, water elementals are working with you in this situation. I feel like a lot of you do have a fair amount of water in your chart, and earth as well is what I'm getting from that. But this charm is also about seduction, allure, feeling really drawn to something, really feeling like you need to do something. We've also got the worry thread wrapped around this little fishbone, which indicates the energy of lack. So feeling like you're not good enough, or like you don't have enough experience or enough knowledge or enough confidence to do something properly. And the final charm is this little snake. So this could mean that one of you is born in the year of the snake. Maybe someone you're dealing with is born in the year of the snake, but also this is about someone that you expected to not like you, or that you expected to be hostile towards you, actually turning out to be a good friend or able to give you some advice in some way. So if you think that maybe a colleague doesn't like you, or that someone is going to be spiteful towards you, I honestly don't see that happening if that's what you're worried about in the future. So let's get your dice on top as well, group 1. Okay, number 4, so that is the Looney Tunes dice, and they look like this. And we're rolling 8 of them for you today, so nearly all of them. If you have been having difficulties with co-workers, then I see it being peacefully resolved. Potentially because someone, if it's multiple co-workers, one of them like goes behind the other's back and apologizes, or agrees to change what they're doing, and the others follow suit. Okay, so we've got Grandma there, the Looney Tunes dice Grandma. That indicates an older female who is able to help you. This could be a line manager, it could be someone in HR possibly, it could be someone who's able to advise you about careers. I also feel like for a lot of you this is a grandma or a mother figure in spirit, or even a more further back ancestor who is female, and that's what you're being asked to connect to through meditation, through prayer, etc., connecting to this ancestral spirit who is looking out for you. I do see that you feel as though your whole energy is being depleted. You feel completely frazzled by this situation, and also because you've got the mallet there and the baseball bat, that just makes me think of beating yourself up or being really hit over the head by this situation, like overwhelmed by it. Maybe some of you didn't even see it coming. So I do think that it's been taking up a lot of your energy, but I feel as though it shouldn't be, in a way. Like, it doesn't seem to be as big a deal as you're making it out to be in your mind. We've got the socializing dice, so that does indicate that for a lot of you there are other people involved in this. Like, I feel a group of people. It's not just one other person. It's like a few different people that are involved here, and they're all having their input or their say. And I feel as though you're being made to feel almost like an outcast, or like you've done something wrong, or like you're strange for doing what you're doing. Like, there's this energy there of you're separate to these people in some way. So that's why I thought that maybe you were planning on changing your job or moving jobs. Maybe you were planning on reporting a colleague, or you were being picked on by colleagues or something. That's the kind of energy I get from that there. But I do see it being resolved peacefully. We've got the boomerang there, indicates something returning to you. Maybe this has brought up old issues to deal with trauma or anxiety. I feel like it's also saying, though, that your strength will return to you. And then we have this kind of, this false escape route. You know, we've got the tunnel that's been painted onto a wall. Someone has been deceptive here, or someone has been trying to trick someone. So that's what I'm getting from those. I'm going to get the Wheel of Wisdom as well. But I feel like if you're asking if something bad is going to happen at work, or if something, you know, your colleagues are going to get you, or something like that, then the answer is no. If you're asking if you're going to be able to change jobs or get a different job opportunity or get a promotion, then I think the answer is yes, but you need to believe in yourself more. You need to have that confidence in yourself, because that's what's holding a lot of you back or making the situation worse for you, is anxiety and stress and worry. So let's do your Wheel of Wisdom spin. So the way that this works is there is a front side and a back side, and I'll be spinning both. And you get to ask a question, and the best way to phrase it is like an advice question. So something that you need advice on. If you want, you can just ask about an issue that you need advice on. Just think about an issue. It can do yes or no questions, but there's a little bit more interpreting involved in that. So best to ask a guidance question, something you need advice or guidance on. If you need more time to think of your question, that's fine. You can pause the video, because I'm just going to start spinning the wheel now. So group 1, answer to your question. Okay, we've got number 43. So let's read from the guidebook and see what that says. So this says, problems and delays that you may experience now are not the result of bad luck, but they arise because certain people in your surroundings are not suitable for you anymore. You must recruit all your strength in order to separate yourself from them and move on with your life. If your question is business related, then you're targeting the wrong market and wasting your time in places that will bring you no profit. So I do feel like that's related to the reading for a lot of you, that you've been asking about people in your workplace, or you've been asking about, you know, should you stay in the workplace? I do feel as though you are going to be given a new opportunity, or you are going to come up with this option to move away or to change your job or your role in some way. So that's what I get from the front side. If that didn't answer your question, we'll do the back part as well. So think of your question. Okay, and we've got number 18 there. So let's read from the guidebook again. Number 18. If you cooperate with a like-minded person or any group of people that think and operate as you do, then your success and satisfaction is assured. Learn to enjoy what you have already accomplished. So this is about, again, finding people that are better suited to you. So I do feel that a lot of you are having problems with people, or just not feeling fulfilled in your current workplace. But I also feel as though you kind of judge yourself more harshly than others do, or you give yourself a harder time than other people would, because I think that you have a lot to be proud of. So that's what the whole reading has been saying. I hope you've enjoyed it, group 1. If it didn't resonate, feel free to choose another pile. Thank you so much for watching and spending your time with me. I would love it if you would consider subscribing if you haven't already, and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please also comment below and let me know how it resonated with you. I do try to reply to all of your comments. I do read them all as well, so thank you for spending the time doing that. If you'd like to help out the channel in any way, we've got loads of ways that you can do that in the description box. You can follow the channel on Instagram for daily cards, and I want to do like a weekly pick a card thing on there as well. I'll also be giving channel updates over there. You can join me on Patreon, become a patron. You get access to exclusive content and you get different kinds of benefits depending on your subscription. I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations. I have an Amazon wishlist for new tarot and oracle decks if anyone's feeling really generous and would like to get a deck for the channel. Thank you so much to everyone who's done any of that so far, because I really, really do appreciate it. And if any of you are interested in private readings or angel healing sessions, then the link to my Etsy page is also in the description. So feel free to check that out. The description is always full of different links and things. So thank you for spending your time with me today, Group 1. Have a lovely rest of your day. Good luck with whatever it is that you're trying to do in your career. And I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Hey there, Group 2, if you chose the Hula Dancing Ghost and the Sun and Moon Tarot, then this is your reading. Just going to pop that picture up there so you can see it, because they're really, really cute. I've got a load of these things, so I probably will be using them. All different kinds of little cards in later videos as well. Also feel free to follow the channel on Instagram. I'll be doing daily cards there as often as I can, and I do want to do weekly picker cards as well if I'm able to do that, so the link to that's in the description and on the timestamps comment. So Group 2, let's see what the answer to your question is. Okay, so we've got 7 of Pentacles, failure. Ace of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, debauch, so 2 7s, and then the 5 of Swords, defeat. So I feel as though you have been struggling to really focus in your energy, Group 2, because we've got a couple of cards here about energy being a little bit scattered, a few cards about uncertainty more generally. I do see you having made a good start with whatever it is that you are asking about, but it just seems like you've maybe become disillusioned in your job, or in the process of applying for jobs that you've been waiting too long to get responses from people, or you've been turned down a lot of times. That's what I'm seeing from this currently. I do feel if you are in any conflict with co-workers, then I do see that kind of just not being a nice ending for that. I think that maybe just trying to detach yourself from that as much as possible is the best way to go about this. That's all I want to say with the tarot cards, because I want to get plenty of oracle cards as well. That's just the starting energies for our reading, so let's get you some more cards. Yeah, definitely see a lot of uncertainty there. Almost like you've had a lot of options, but you weren't sure really which one was the best thing. So we've got good fortune there, which is a good beginning. And then we have power. So stepping into power, understanding your own power. Then we have number 35, the white snake, understanding, which is weird because I just said the word understanding. Maybe coming to an understanding with others, or finally understanding what it is that you need to do. Ant Spirit, number 1, time to collaborate. Yeah, I see there as having been difficulties just in general. It seems as though you've been doing the same thing for quite a while and you've been finding it tiring, or you've been finding it unfulfilling, or it's not been giving you the benefits that you hoped it would. So now is the time to change tack a little bit, I think. Change what you're doing. Maybe if you've always worked alone, consider getting a business partner, consider retraining. communication is key. New moon in Gemini. So definitely there is some kind of situation with other people involved here, or you need to get other people involved. If you have been having disputes with co-workers or with your manager, I feel as though the best thing to do is to detach emotionally and then try and talk it out. Don't get defensive. You know, you don't need to justify your position to anyone because you understand your power. So there's no need to be defensive about it. I just keep being drawn to this card because it's so beautiful. So I do feel as though there are new opportunities on the horizon, or there's going to be a realization for you quite soon. View from above, get the big picture. Yeah, don't get bogged down in details. As I said, try and take that little step back emotionally from whatever is being going on, especially if it's like your own business or something, or if you just feel like you've wasted time career-wise. Try not to get emotional or upset about it, because I feel like that will hold you back. Because if you get into this cycle of anger with yourself or worry or berating yourself, then that is just not helpful. Dry Desert, number 31. Now that's interesting because that's the card that group 1 got from that deck as well. So before I read from the guidebook, I just want to get another card. Because these are the two decks where I always read from the guidebook, so it just makes sense to do those together. So then we have Birth, number 4. Okay, that's a nice card of new beginnings, but let's just read from this guidebook first and then the next one. If it's not resonating at all so far, then feel free to choose another pile. So Dry Desert says, dig deep for inspiration and truth. Now is the time to become resilient and adaptable. Is your life presenting you with opportunities that seem to yield nothing? Have your ideas dried up? Does it feel like you're on an endless journey through a dry, hot, lifeless desert? This card reminds you that there are times when you're meant to become resilient as you journey through harsher circumstances. You're being required to conserve your energy until, after consistent effort, you reach the oasis you're searching for. Consider the creatures that live in these conditions. They've adapted to thrive in spite of the outer environment. In a desert, water, essential for life, can be found deep underground. Go within yourself now and find your truth there. Let spirit sustain you while you locate the real source. Okay. And then the Birth card, number 4, says, with this card it's time for a new start. Perhaps an actual birth, or at least a metaphorical one. An old phase is passing away and a new one begins. But even this new beginning has its roots in your deepest histories and your past lives. There may be some labour involved, but it's a labour that bears fruit. This card is associated with fertility, sensuality, and motherhood. There may be new energy in a romance, the family, or the home. You could be giving birth to a creative project too. Whatever it is, celebrate and prepare for the wonderful growth and opportunities that are about to come. So that was what I was getting here with the Good Fortune card, and also with the Ace of Pentacles. There is this feeling of a new beginning and a new opportunity, because I feel as though whatever you've been doing currently for work, it just seems to have dragged on for a long time without giving you the fulfillment or the benefit that you needed. Especially these two cards seem to have a very similar image about them. Like, this girl is just drawing circles around herself in the sand. This person is in the dry desert. It feels as though there's no opportunity in the place that they're currently in. But that doesn't mean that if they look somewhere else that there won't be opportunities offered to them. It's kind of that they're at the right time, they're just in the wrong place, so they need to start looking elsewhere. And 7 of Cups indicates that there is a lot of opportunity, a lot of different paths that you could go down. I don't feel like you're being asked to follow any particular career path, group 2. So that may lead to why you're feeling uncertain, why you're feeling kind of, the word I wanted to use was scattered, because you feel unsure. And that's because there's no set career path, I feel, that's been carved out for you. It's just that there are lots of things you could choose to do, and that involves thinking and researching and pros and cons lists and things like that, and that is a bit overwhelming. But you have the strength and the resilience to do this. Butterfly Maiden, transformation. You are experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. Wow. Erfolg, number 39, success. Success as well after a difficult struggle, because these people are climbing this mountain. It's not success because they just, you know, walked in a straight line. So I do think that you are going to come out of this situation on top. It's just that you have been, I feel, experiencing difficulties for a while, experiencing issues with co-workers or a lack of satisfaction or not enough money for the current job that you're doing. I feel as though some of you may own your own business, and you just feel like you're doing so much work and you're not getting enough back for that. So definitely talk to other people seems to be coming through here as something to help you. So maybe you're going to start, if you talk to someone like a friend or a family member, they might give you an idea that sparks a new opportunity for you. They say, oh, well, have you thought about doing that? Or have you thought about asking this person that? That might help. Okay, then we have denke nochmal darüber nach. So think about it again. And that's what I'm feeling, that you're starting to rethink your career decisions, or you're starting to rethink your options in life. And I do feel like it's time for a change for you, group 2. So if you're wondering if you should change jobs, if you should, you know, maybe diversify your business a little bit and employ people, or, you know, change a little bit what it is that you're doing, then I think the answer is yes. If you've been having issues with co-workers, I feel like the best option is to step away. Talking definitely needs to be done, but from a place of emotional detachment. So if you've been having issues with the co-workers and that doesn't end up being resolved through talking or mediation, then I think the best thing to look into would be to move branches or move to a different place of work. So let's get your charms on top now, group 2, and then we'll do your dice and your wheel of wisdom as well. Don't forget about that. So group 2. Okay, so we've got the letter H there. Don't know if that is connected to your name or surname, maybe a company name or a place. It is on the Ace of Pentacles, so it could be connected to a new start or a new opportunity. Don't worry if nothing comes to your mind, that's fine. It might just be for a few people. We've got the winter charm there, so that might indicate when changes are going to happen for you. And you have got an angel feather. So angels are watching over you. They are working with you in this situation. Maybe some of you have asked for their help or asked for them to show up in this reading. You've also got the word family. So family might be able to help you. You know, I said asking a friend or a family member. You might want to look to your family for advice, or, you know, if you just talk to them about the situation, they might come up with a good idea for you. Then we have dreaming of the sea. So to me, that's always about longing for something or yearning for something, or even missing something or someone. Maybe you feel like you've missed the boat career-wise, or, you know, you've just always wanted to do a certain thing, but you were never sure if it was financially viable. We've also got the rocking horse, this energy of moving backwards and forwards, but never really getting anywhere. And on the dry desert card, we have got this spider's web, feeling stuck, feeling trapped in a situation. But the tree here, communication leads to growth, leads to stability, new opportunities. You will see things clearly. You are in a process as well. You're in a process of change. It's the little witch with her cauldron. That makes me think of processing something or going through a process. The key on the success card, that's so nice. You're going to have the key to success. You will find a solution to this problem, and talking it out is the best route. Then you have an earth elemental coming through for you. And this says that it's fine not to be mainstream. It's fine to be different. It's fine to do something that might at first glance seem irresponsible or not the best route for you. And then we have a water elemental here with this mermaid, and that's saying that you feel really drawn to something, really kind of seduced by something, like you want to try something out, but you're just not sure rationally if it's the right thing to do. So let's get your dice on top and see what they can tell us. Oh, you've got number 4. So that's also the same as group 1. They got these dice. They're the Looney Tunes dice, and they look like that. And we're rolling 7 for you today, group 2. Okay. Let me just see what we've got here. Yeah, so we've got this saloon doors that always makes me think of socializing, like a lot of other people are involved. And I feel as though getting other people involved is the right thing to do. Talking to people is going to help you here. We've also got the people squaring up to each other. So some of you have been having difficulties with co-workers, issues with your boss, for example. There is this energy of arguing or not seeing eye to eye with people. It's left you feeling very overwhelmed. This is, in Looney Tunes, it's when someone's like fallen off a cliff or down a canyon or something, and it just leaves the outline of their body on the ground because they've gone through the ground. And that's just what I feel, completely flawed, completely overwhelmed, and can't even start to focus your energy into thinking about this situation productively because you don't know where to begin. We've got the cheese there, which makes me think, whenever I get that, I think of suspicion. I think something stinks. So like you're starting to realize that now is the right time for change, or you're starting to suspect that maybe you should just try something new. Then we have the piano and the paintbrush. So both of these indicate creativity for me. Some of you wanting to make your side creative hobby into your full-time job, or some of you really wanting to do a creative job or start your own business. You're just worried that it won't work out. Maybe people have also tried to discourage you and make you feel as though, you'll never succeed in that. And maybe where your family can help you is helping you get your first orders, or helping you get, spread it through word of mouth that you have this new business. And the wardrobe, finally, that also indicates to me creativity because it's about fashion and beauty. But I think of changing your wardrobe, changing your clothes. So here I just want to add again this energy of change of scenery, change of job, change of what you're doing. So just to summarize before we do the Wheel of Wisdom, what I'm getting from this reading is, if you're asking about issues with co-workers, the best thing to do is unemotionally discuss this with them, or go through a higher channel if you have HR or something like that to have a mediation session, because that's, more formal and detached than just having it out with them yourself. If that doesn't work, seriously consider moving offices or moving to a different job, because the energies of these people might be holding you back. If you have always wanted to start a new job or career, or if you're now starting to think, should I try something different? I feel like the answer is yes. This is a time for change for you, and it might not be easy to begin with, although I feel like you haven't had it easy job-wise for quite some time. But in the end, you will find this success. You will kind of come out on top. And the best thing to do, regardless of what you're asking about, communication seems to be key here. Communication and change. So let's get your Wheel of Wisdom spin now. So if you haven't seen this before, it's pretty new on the channel. I'm not using it in every video, just in some of them. But the front side looks like this. The back side looks like this, and I'll be spinning both of them because you can spin them separately. So the way to do this is, think of a question where you need guidance on something, or where you need some advice. If you can't even phrase it as a question, just think of the issue that you want some advice on. It's usually best not to ask yes or no here, but you can try and do that and see what happens. Just ask for something where you need some advice or guidance. So if you haven't thought of your question yet, just pause the video because I'm going to start spinning now. And if you have, then think of your question. So group 2, what is the answer to your question? Okay, so we've got number 53 there. Let's read from the guidebook. So group 2, being trapped between the hammer and the anvil, you are stuck between two factors, people or situations, and each party places unreasonable demands upon you, so you don't know who to comply with first. You need to conduct a thorough examination and decide which one of the parties is really worth your efforts. possibly abandonment of one of the sides involved will seem to you like an act of sacrifice. That is really interesting, because that really seems to resonate with the actual question itself that we've been looking at. Some of you really stuck between leaving your job, you know, dealing with issues at work. Really, really interesting. So just to recap that, it's talking about you being stuck between two decisions, feeling stuck between a rock and a hard place. You really need to think carefully about which of these is worth your time and energy and effort. And probably you will have to choose one or the other, but leaving one of them behind seems to you like giving up a lot. You know, leaving either of them behind seems like a big sacrifice to you, but you will need to choose that soon. So if that didn't answer your question, we're going to we're going to spin the back side now as well. So group 2, think of your question. Okay, so we've got 14 there, so let's read from the guidebook again. Make a change. Wow, make a change. The current situation requires it. Consult with a trustworthy person and create a new reality with their positive and constructive support. The transformation won't be easy, but it will be for the best. Oh my goodness, that is literally what we were talking about in this entire reading. So I have to read that again for you. Make a change. The current situation requires it. Consult with a trustworthy person and create a new reality with their positive and constructive support. The transformation won't be easy, but it will be for the best. So definitely a change is needed here, whatever it is that you're asking about. And talking to someone who you trust will help you to figure out which option you prefer, what's the best choice for you. So I really hope you enjoyed this group 2. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Thank you for watching. I would love it if you would consider subscribing if you haven't already, and if you would give this video a big thumbs up. That really, really helps out the channel. Please do consider commenting below, letting me know how it resonated with you. I do try to read all of your comments, and I do try to reply to all of them as well. If you would like to help out the channel in any way, we have lots of links in the description as to how you can do that. As I mentioned earlier, we've got an Instagram page now where you can go for daily cards. I'm trying to do a weekly pick a card over there as well. I also have an Amazon wish list for new tarot and oracle decks for anyone who's feeling super generous and would like to get a new deck for the channel. And I have a PayPal link for tips and donations to the channel, so thank you to everyone who's done that. So far. It's really, really kind of you, and it does make my day when I get that little notification that someone has been kind enough to donate to the channel. I also have a Patreon page as well where I offer exclusive content, and you join as a subscriber and then you get different benefits depending on what level you want to join at. So you can check out Patreon as well if that interests you. And if you'd like to book a private reading or an angel healing session, I have an Etsy page linked in the description box too. Thank you again for watching group 2. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye, take care. Hi there group 3, if you chose the picture of the ghost with the mushrooms and the happy tarot, then this is your reading. Just going to try and stand that up there so you can see it. I will probably be using kind of cards like this in the future as well, because I've got a lot of little cute cards, so you can expect those to be on piles in future videos. Also feel free to follow the channel on Instagram. We are trying to do daily cards and hopefully weekly picker cards as well. I've done that twice so far. So the link to that will be in the description and in the timestamps comment. So group 3, let's try and get the answer to your question. Okay, there we go. So we've got the Hanged Man there to begin with. The Empress. The Chariot. 5 of Swords. And Seven of Cups. So you're starting out with 3 major arcana cards, which is quite interesting. I can definitely see this position of indecision that you are in currently. Maybe some of you have been out of work for a while or haven't actually been into the workplace for a while. Interesting that you got these 2 cards as well, because these 2 cards came out for group 2, even though we were using a different tarot deck. Yeah, so I am seeing there being potential issues with co-workers or potential issues between what you want to do and what other people want you to do. There is this issue here with you trying to decide what you want for your future. Maybe wondering if the career that you're currently in is the right choice for you. Maybe just trying to decide even what career you want to do. Maybe you haven't got a job yet, or you haven't really got that career job. You know, we can have a job and you can have a job that leads into a career. But I do see you as being very hardworking, and with the Empress as well, it feels like there are fruitful opportunities out there for you. So we'll get you some oracle cards to see what they can tell us, because I don't want to give a yes or no just based on those cards. So group 3. Space clearing. Wow. Wow. So space clearing is all about, it would be leaving a job potentially, it would be removing a person from your life, changing your belief system, changing the course that you study. So some of you are considering leaving behind a job, or potentially leaving behind the place that you live in to go and work elsewhere. There is this sense of change coming through. Okay, then we've got a few cards from this deck. The Day Boy and the Night Girl, number 30, Balance. Children of Leah, number 37, Voice. And Sleeping Beauty, number 32, Awakening. Yeah, it's like you're kind of standing on your own 2 feet for the first time in a while. I think some of you are maybe quite young and you are just embarking on your first job after university or after school. A lot of you are really considering changing your life in some way, but you're not sure exactly the path that you're going to take or whether it's the right one for you. I do get some hesitance here, especially with the look on this girl's face. Like, she looks like she's not entirely sure if she's happy with her choice, or if she's, you know, exactly sure that she's ready to do what she's about to do. So coming into balance, really interesting. Hawk Spirit, number 32, let spirit be your guide. And what I was wondering when I saw this card is maybe sometimes you think, yes, this is what I want to do. And then sometimes you think, no, it's not what I want to do. So maybe it's even simply that in the daytime, you're completely sure that that's what you want to do. And then when you're awake at night in bed, you start worrying that you've made the wrong choice, or you start worrying that you're going to hate this new job or this new opportunity, or you start worrying about going into work and seeing certain people who may not be the best people to have around. If some of you are dealing with issues with co-workers. But let spirit be your guide. That kind of tells you to listen to what you're feeling on the inside, whether it feels right or not, rather than rationally thinking through the situation. Then we have look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius, and work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. Yeah, some of you really are quite anxious about making the wrong decision. This is asking you what would be better in the long run. Even if you're worried that maybe, you know, a change would be difficult in the short term, or a change would be scary in the short term, or that you might not like the job straight away. It's saying what would be best for you in the long run. And are your fears based on reality, or are they just based on what you think might happen rather than what you know will happen? Then we have uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. Yeah, it does feel like maybe you're just looking at a situation and seeing it as being quite overwhelming, when perhaps once you're in the situation itself, it won't be. So what I mean by that is maybe you have applied to a job and you've got an offer and it means going somewhere different to live, or it means changing spheres of job, or it just is like a new environment with new people and you're worried or you're quite anxious about that. But this is saying that's you looking at it and catastrophizing and worrying about it, whereas if you take a step back and actually let yourself just get involved in the new environment, it will actually be quite enjoyable. Okay, then we have Spirit of Place, number 4. There does seem to be this issue about place for a lot of you, that there's a change of location, or that the place is somehow important. Placement is now what I'm hearing. Okay, let's get another card. Two Worlds, Two of Scrolls. Right, so I'm going to read both of these cards from the guidebook, because I always read from the guidebook for these decks. So Spirit of Place says authenticity is the essence of power. Our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it. Just as we have a soul, the plants, trees, birds, mountains, and rivers have their own essences. When the Spirit of Place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your question is in the overarching theme of the circumstances. Is your question about a struggle? The answer is to relax and let go of your need to control the situation. If your question relates to finding love, then embody love rather than long for it. Once you find the essential truth that underlies your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is your authenticity. Okay, so again, if you're worried about co-workers not getting along with you or not liking you or not fitting into a new place of work, then the answer is just to be yourself, just to naturally let the situation unfold. Two of Scrolls, Two Worlds. Surrounded by a spinning wheel and baskets of wool, a beautiful woman, worried and tired, gazes at the embers in the fireplace. She has worked hard at her spinning for the coins that are gathered on the table. The expansive window behind her looks out onto a Buddhist monastery high in the mountains. When you receive this card, there is a conflict in your life between what the outer world requires of you and how your own spirit directs you. You actually may have had a number of past lives where you wanted to focus on your spiritual growth, and therefore joined a monastery to do this. Then, missing the wonders that the secular world could offer, such as love, family, and financial success, you chose the secular world exclusively in your next incarnation. But this didn't offer the spiritual focus that you also sought. Because of this, it's likely that you bounced back and forth from the monastic to the personal in a number of incarnations and through a number of different faiths. You are now again experiencing a polarity between a fully self-realized spiritual experience and personal success in your day-to-day life. It often feels as if you have to let go of one in order to embrace the other. This push and pull will continue until you learn to bring your spiritual self to every situation in your personal life. It's time to replace worry with trust and integrate your eternal truth with your current reality. If you have a job or are in a relationship that actively pulls you away from your spirit, then you must deal with it or possibly leave it. Who you are forever is who you are now. Let nothing impede that power. So, interesting, because we've got a few messages now about spirit getting involved here. So I feel like some of you are worried that you're just experiencing success in your career, that kind of material success that we've got with the Chariot, but that you're not feeling fulfilled spiritually. And so there's a little bit of a void for some of you now. There's like this void energy, and you're wondering if you should leave the job behind, but then at the same time you're thinking, why would I do that? I get good money. Or why would I do that when I'm on track to be promoted, or people are proud of me? And so it's saying, look, you need to be authentic here. You need to do what feels right for you. Maybe taking a pay cut wouldn't be that bad if you would feel fully satisfied in your work. You know, look at the bigger picture and work through your fears. To me, that both of those together is saying, look at, for example, how a year would pan out in a different job, and would that be as bad as what you've been worried about? If that makes sense. feel like for some of you, this is quite a deep question that you're asking. It's not like a simple, should I leave this job or should I stay? Like, there's more to it. Then you have Sekhmet, be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. So definitely getting that as well. And I think a lot of you are quite hard workers. Like, you really push yourselves, and I think probably judge yourselves more harshly than other people would. Wow, number 33, Freiheit, freedom. This woman being released from the shackles that bind her. I think you're definitely being asked what would set you free. And would that feel better than maybe the money or the respect that you get in your current job? Drück dich klar aus, express yourself clearly, and aktiv werden, be active. Okay, so interesting that we've got this card when you've got the voice card. There definitely needs to be a discussion with someone, or even just with yourself here. You need to ask yourself what you really want and what would really be fulfilling for you. So just a quick recap before I do your charms and your dice and Wheel of Wisdom spin as well. Let's not forget about that. Here's what I'm getting from the reading. If you're considering leaving a place of work that feels unfulfilling, or where the people are just really toxic and bitchy, or it's like a really high responsibility, high stress atmosphere, then the answer is yes, we think this is a good idea. If you can find something that you would find more fulfilling and that would still be able to sustain you financially, then there's no reason why you shouldn't go ahead and do that. If you are just starting out in your career and you're worried about moving away from family, or you're worried about starting a new job and not really fitting in with people or not being able to do it, the answer is to have more faith in yourself and just to know that you don't know until you know. You don't know what it's going to be like until you've gone in there and tried it. So if you are worried, or if you have just started a new job and you're worried that people don't like you at first, or that you're not quite getting it yet, just give yourself more time. Essentially, the underlying message of this reading, regardless of your question, seems to be to have more faith in yourself and not to change yourself and your needs for other people's happiness or other people's satisfaction. There's a strong message of power and authenticity here. So let's get your charms on top and see what they can tell us. Okay. So the attraction charm fell out very quickly while I was shuffling. So that does indicate that you're feeling drawn already to a particular type of work or place, perhaps. We've also got the letter S. Interesting that that landed on Sekhmet. Sekhmet may work with you, or you may want to start working with her. She is an Egyptian war goddess. S may mean something else for you. It could be someone else's name, could be a company name, could be a place, it could be a word or a job title for you. But don't worry if it doesn't mean anything. You could even just take it to mean strength or be strong. We've got the Christmas tree. So winter, maybe when things start to change for you. Wintertime, maybe when you get a firm decision in your mind, or when things really start to move forward for you. We've got the explosion as well. So something happening suddenly. And I feel like you're already looking at the bigger picture. When I get the gear, I say that something's already happening. So you're already trying to figure out what the best options would be for you. It's going to be very healing for you to go through this and to talk about this and to start seeing it as a proper option for you. Be brave. That really works with the Be Strong card. And the steering wheel, things are going to change. The tide is turning. The tide is changing for you. I get that you might be a little shy or a little bit anxious to actually step up and make this choice. And for some of you, that's rooted in childhood as well, because we've got the inner child trauma charm. So there is inner child issues going on for some of you, that you have always been very reliant on your family, or that you've been made to feel like you wouldn't cope standing up for yourself or being independent because of issues from your past. And that has landed on the card about working through your fears. So that is something that needs to be addressed as well, if that's how you feel. Then we have this musical symbol. And this one as well. So music is important to a lot of you. Creativity as well seems to be something that is a theme here. So maybe some of you wanting to do a job that's more creative or more independent rather than just doing the same thing over and over again. You've got a nice big key, so you will find a solution to this situation. And what is nice is that in every reading so far, we've got a key. So that's really good. There's also the love heart, doing something you love, doing something that you are passionate about. And the shield, wanting to protect yourself from making the wrong move, wanting to stay with what feels safe and familiar, even if it's not fulfilling. We've got the thistle there, so some of you have a connection to Scotland. Maybe that's what the S is talking about, but that could be through just your name or surname. It could be a company that has dealings in Scotland, but that will only be a message for some of you. Got a seahorse as well. So this is saying that some of you have a partner or a friend who is very, very supportive. When I get the seahorse, I think of someone who is prepared to do their 50-50 share of the work. So there is someone here who can support you through this, who is going to listen to you if you talk to them about it, and who's going to kind of come up with options for you or just be there for you when you need to vent. And the movie camera. So again, that might be connected to what you want to do, but the movie camera is saying that things are happening behind the scenes for you. You're just not aware of them yet. So things are kind of working out for you already. You just haven't seen the physical results of that just yet, but you will soon. So let's see what your dice have to say as well, group 3. And we're rolling the third set of dice for you today. That is the mystery dice, and they look like this. And we're rolling four of these dice for you. Wow, definitely do what you love, because we've got that there. Do what you are passionate about. I get that a lot of you feel really flawed by this situation. You feel really overwhelmed by it, almost like you don't dare to make a move, or like you don't even know where to begin with this situation, because I think a lot of you are really wondering if change is right for you, if it's right to pursue what you've always wanted to do. This scheming person here coming up with a plan, coming up with a clever idea. And then the writing. So possibly signing contracts, signing important documents. I feel like as well, making a pros and cons list, or making a list of potential jobs, potential opportunities would be helpful, because with that landing on this Let Spirit Be Your Guide card, I wonder if you look down the list of possible jobs or things that you could apply for, whether anything's going to really jump out at you. If you are trying to make a decision as to which job to do, I feel like maybe doing that will mean that something jumps out at you as being the right one, like intuitively, almost like a pick a card, but you're looking down a list of jobs. So let's do your Wheel of Wisdom. That's what I'm seeing. If it didn't resonate, then that's fine. Just go and pick another pile if you want to, because I feel like this is quite specific for some people. It feels very kind of deep pondering about life purpose and career path. It's not just your run-of-the-mill, should I get a job change or should I do this question. So let's do the Wheel of Wisdom. So this is the front side and this is the back side for anyone who hasn't seen it. I won't be using it in every video, but I will use it sometimes just because I think it's quite fun. So the way to use it is think of a question that you need advice on or that you need guidance on. You can ask a yes or no question, but it's probably going to be easier just to think of an issue that you need advice on, or think of a question where you need guidance or advice or insight. And then I'm going to spin both sides. So I'll do the front side first, and if that doesn't answer your question, we've got another spin as well. So if you need more time to think of a question, just pause the video because I'm going to start now. If you have your question, think about it now while I spin the wheel. So group 3, what is the answer to your question? Okay, we've got number 8 there. So let's look in the guidebook and see what that says. So number 8, because of heavy loads that you carry with you from the past and even from previous lifetimes, destiny had chosen specific events that you should experience in this life. Even if the situation is beyond your strength and capabilities and difficult for you to cope with, it is inevitable. Wait patiently until you hear good news. So this seems like there have been, like, again, I want to connect it to this little charm. This little inner child trauma charm. Some of you really don't have a lot of confidence in yourself, or you have issues from your past, even past lives, that might be holding you back here, or that might be making you doubt yourself or feeling uncertain here. So this says even if the issue is overwhelming for you or seems really like it's going to be something you're going to struggle with, it is still going to happen. So just wait for things to improve. Wait patiently until you get a better offer, or for things to improve for you. So if that didn't answer your question, then I will also spin the back side for you. So think again about your question, group 3. Okay. I feel like that's that one. So number 29. Okay, so 29 says, changing locations will bring favourable results. Travelling will prove itself as important towards success. You should go on a trip or vacation to a remote location in order to clear your mind. Seriously consider any opportunities that might require a change of location. So again, interesting, because I felt that some of you were worried about moving away for work, or that some of you weren't sure if you would like your new place of work, or weren't sure if you would really fit in with the people there or the lifestyle there. So this is really positive. So if you have been wondering about leaving your job, and you know, you've been watching this reading, then I feel like that is potentially something you could look into, that there are other options out there for you. If you've been worried about moving different locations, moving jobs where you're not quite sure about it, just know that things are going to work out well for you. So I liked that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this reading, group 3. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Please do consider subscribing to the channel and giving this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because it really helps out the channel when you do that. Also, please comment below and let me know how it resonated with you, because I do try to reply to all of your comments and I do read all of them as well. So I would love it if you would do that below. I love interacting with all of you down there. If you'd like to help out the channel in any way, that's great. Thank you. I have the Instagram page for the channel that I mentioned earlier. That's in the description box. I've got all of these links in the description for anyone who's interested. If you'd like to join my Patreon page, then feel free to do that. I kind of offer exclusive content over there, and you get different rewards depending on what level of subscription you have. And that's just a way to get to know me better and get extra stuff out of the channel. I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations to the channel, and I have an Amazon Tarot and Oracle wish list for new decks. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated through those. It really, really means a lot to me. And I've got some lovely new decks that I'm able now to use on the channel thanks to so many people's generosity and kindness. So truly thank you to all of you. Also, if anyone would like to book a private reading or an angel healing session, the link to my Etsy page is in the description box too, so you can go and check that out if that's something that interests you. But overall, group 3, have a lovely day. Really wish you all the best with whatever you decide to do career-wise, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye, take care. Hi there, group 4. If you chose the Ghost Drinking Bubble Tea and the Deviant Moon Tarot, then this is your reading. So I'm just going to pop him up there so you can see it better. I will be using more cards like this in the future on piles, because I have a lot of different things like this. Also feel free to follow the channel on Instagram. I now offer daily cards over there, and I'm trying to do weekly picker cards as well. The link to that is in the description box and at the beginning of the timestamps comment. So let's see what cards I can get for your question, group 4. Okay. Okay, so we have got the 4 of Wands. We've got Page of Wands. 5 of Pentacles. And a 7 of Swords. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, the first two cards are quite good, and then the second 2 cards indicate possible issues that lie ahead there. So I feel as though Some of you are worried about, I'm just going to shout out what I think some of you might be asking about, but we will get plenty of oracle cards as well to help clarify. I think some of you are worried because you have quite a stable job, but you want to do something different, or you're considering changing what you're doing in some way or branching out in some way, and you're worried that you're not going to be good enough, or that it's going to be a bad move financially, or that you're going to live to regret it. Just in general, I get this sense of worry about newness. Like maybe you're worried that going back into the office after being away for so long is going to be very challenging for you. Maybe you're worried that there's a new promotion opportunity coming up and you're afraid that you're not going to get it, or you're afraid that other people are going to somehow badmouth you. There's a bit of an energy of going behind people's backs here. So I am intrigued to see what the oracle cards will tell us, but that's just the energies that I'm getting from the tarot cards generally. I love this deck. I'm so excited to have it. It's one of my new decks. So let's get some oracle cards. So group 4. Oh, this is nice. Rose petals. That's a really, really lovely card to get. And then unconditional love. Okay. So rose petals says that you've been going through difficulties for a while, especially over the last few months, but things are now going to change. Blockages are going to disappear from your life, and it's going to feel like rose petals are falling down from heaven. It's a really lovely card to get. And the unconditional love card really does seem to resonate with this first card that you got, the 4 of Wands. So maybe you've been working with someone for a long time, or in the same place for a long time, and you just feel like, how can I leave this person or this place behind when it's something that I've always, you know, been so attached to. There's a real energy of loyalty here. Or maybe you're afraid that someone will leave your place of work and you're just really unhappy about that thought. So then we have number 5, Gretel, ingenuity. So coming up with ingenious solutions to a situation. Of course, Gretel also one of 2. She's one of Hansel and Gretel. So I always found it intriguing that they had their own cards. That Hansel also did come out in someone's reading. I can't remember which group it was, but he came out earlier. So it's really interesting if you've chosen 2 piles and if you've chosen both of those, then that will be intriguing. But it did always seem a bit strange to me that they had separate cards, but maybe this is why. What do you need to release? Waning moon. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. And surrender to the divine. Full moon. So it kind of feels like a bit of a done deal already. Whatever it is that you're worrying about, if someone is leaving your place of work, or if someone is moving away and you're worried that you're never going to see them again, it feels like there's not a lot you can do to change that. Or if you are upset about leaving behind a much loved workplace or a much loved type of job, like maybe you're changing your sphere of work, or you're leaving behind co-workers that you really love, it's kind of saying there's nothing you can do to change that because you've made your decision already in your heart. Yeah, then we have Dolphin Spirit, number 20. This and that are true. So again, this energy of this and that. This makes me feel as though if you or another person has chosen to leave the workplace or has chosen to do something, that doesn't mean that you didn't have a lovely time with them beforehand. Like if someone, for example, has gone behind your back and snatched a promotion away from you, that doesn't mean that all of the time you spent with them in the past is now tainted, even if you don't want to spend time with them in the future because you feel hurt by what they've done, or you feel hurt that they're leaving, or that they are moving up in the world when you're not, or vice versa. That doesn't mean that you can't still look back fondly at the time you spent together. You know, if you are considering closing down your business because it's too much for you, or you want to try something new, or you, again, moving jobs, that doesn't mean that you can't look back fondly at the time you spent with that. And it doesn't mean that you're a failure in any way if you are closing a business or trying a new sphere of work. Reaching your destination, your light is shining brightly. So there is this strong energy from these cards about something coming to an end or something coming to a conclusion. And fellow travelers, support is all around you. So maybe you are worried that you are going to have to announce that you're leaving the workplace and someone's going to be unhappy. But I feel like, honestly, even if people are upset at you leaving or at their leaving, they do still support you. Or they are still happy for you that you've got that promotion, or that you're moving on, or that you're doing what's right for you. Okay, then we have Stormfields in the reverse, number 9. And we also have Dragon's Lair in the reverse, number 19. So I will read from the guidebook for those cards because I've never read those in the reverse before, but I just want to get one more card before we do, because this deck I also end up having to read from the guidebook a lot for this one. So it just makes sense to do it together. One of Forces, the Akashic Field. Nice. Okay, so I'll read those two reversals first. I do know what the next card means anyway, but I might just read a tiny bit from that guidebook too. But number 9, Stormfields in the reverse. It says, now is not the time to engage in any activity that brings unwanted chaos or drama into your life. This kind of storm can be destructive and you'll regret your actions later. Hurtful words will be carried on the wind and bring a tornado of betrayal, anger, and unnecessary angst. Find shelter. This turbulent weather will pass and your house will be untouched. Say no to drama. Wait till the storm blows over, only then will you be heard. So if you have been worried about, you know, seeing someone and ending up saying to them, how could you leave the workplace, or how could you do this to me? I feel like it's saying just hold back for a little while, hold back on what you want to say. Maybe write it down for yourself and get it out that way. Then this card, Dragon's Lair in the reverse, says red flags shouldn't be ignored. Don't be seduced into learning a lesson that will hurt your heart. Temptation and intrigue abound, but be careful because you can't win this particular challenge. Heed this gentle warning about wanting and longing, and the fantasy of belonging to someone, something, or an identity that has no true substance or longevity. Ignore this alarm and you'll wander in circles near the edge of a dragon's lair. Choose another path, for your treasures lie elsewhere. And that's what I was saying, that there's definitely this feeling of completion here, of moving on for a lot of you. Maybe some of you have realised during the pandemic that your workplace doesn't actually care about your loyalty that much, or doesn't actually care about your livelihood as much as you'd like to think that they would. And that's left you feeling quite unhappy or quite betrayed in a way. So then One of Forces, the Akashic Field. This is all about manifestation. It says that amazing opportunities abound for you at this time. You can increase and accelerate the experience by opening the doors to the Akashic records. Your life force energy resonates with universal synchronicity now, so you can explore the records and receive exactly the information that you need and the energy that can help. And this is important as well, because that was what these two cards were saying, that if you put out words that are hurtful or angry or sad and you direct them towards others, then they'll just come back at you, because you're in that energy of resonance, which is important for manifestation. So it says, write down your intentions and ask for inspiration. Meditate on the Akashic Field, it's this, and visualize your goals. The universe is ready and willing to align with your heartfelt desires, and now is the time to make them happen. So I do see you ending something and beginning something new, embarking on a new adventure. So then we have Vesta, home, Hestia in the Greek tradition. Your household situation is improving, either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. So again, this energy of someone leaving or someone moving on. But it seems like it's for the best. Siege, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So again, don't act out of passion in this situation. Don't say or do something that you'll regret in the future. I feel like it's also connected to the whole visualization process. Write down what you want and think about what you want, and you'll get it. Yes, number 43, Friede, peace. This meditative person here finding peace with his situation. And number 21, Dunkle Geschichte, dark story. So this is saying if you tell yourself that bad things will happen, then bad things will happen. It's again that energy of resonance. If you tell yourself that good things are going to happen and that you're open to opportunities, then that's what will come your way. I think there's a lot here about mindset for you, group 4. Okay, then we have Frage deine Engel, ask your angels. And then we have Ja, with an exclamation mark, yes. Okay, so yes. So the answer, if you're asking should you do something, is yes. You know, what I feel from this reading overall so far, before I do your charms dice and Wheel of Wisdom spin, this is just a little recap. I feel as though if you're asking should you move on from a workplace, should you put the past behind you and start afresh, the answer is yes. If you're wondering should you show support for someone even though you're upset that they're leaving the workplace, the answer is yes. I do feel that you can put behind you things that have been said and done negatively at work. If people who you thought were your friends, who were colleagues, turned out to betray you or upset you in some way, I do still feel like you can put that behind you and move on from that. If you're asking if you're going to manifest the right job or the best job opportunity, or if XYZ is the right opportunity for you, the answer is yes. That's what I'm seeing so far. So let's get your charms on top and see what they can tell us. Okay, so we've got the letter N there, so that could mean something for you. Could be someone's name, could be a place, a company, a job, a word. Don't worry if nothing comes to you, because it might just be for a few people. We've got the shooting star, so a wish will be granted for you, which is really lovely. And we've also got 2 creativity symbols here, 2 musical symbols. So some of you are thinking about embarking upon a creative career, or you're wondering if you can make your creative hobby or talent into a full-time job, or even just a part-time thing, wondering if you can make money from it. And I feel like the answer is yes. Then we have the protective hand there, the hand of Fatima, that's telling you that you are protected during this storm, during this period of change. Also, because creativity landed on the release card, I feel like that again is saying write out the way that you're feeling towards someone rather than saying it to them, and just keep that letter to yourself, or use creativity as a way to help you cope with this situation, whatever it is to do with the other person, where you feel upset or you feel some regret there. Use creativity as a means to help you get out those feelings constructively rather than destructively. I feel like I'm saying that a lot on the channel recently, but constructive and creative rather than destructive. We've got the steering wheel, which indicates a change is coming, the tide is turning for you. And the seahorse, a lot of you have a really supportive partner or friend, or this could even be this coworker that you've been doubting or that you've been upset about, who is prepared to be there for you, who is prepared to support you, like this 50-50 energy that I get from the seahorse. So there is a lot of support out there for you. Of course, you've got this lovely card as well, and this lovely card. Then we've got the growth charm. So you're definitely headed for greater growth, greater development. The lantern, you are being guided through the darkness into a better place, into a place where there's going to be more opportunity for you. You're just waiting for the stars to align, waiting for the right time, waiting for the right opportunity to come along. Everything is going to happen in divine timing. And we've got the haunted house there. So there is something that's really on your mind, and I think it's to do with a person or place that you're upset about leaving, or where you feel let down in some way. And again, it's landed on that card about this and that are true, and I just feel like it's saying just because this has happened now doesn't mean that what happened in the past wasn't real, or wasn't, something that you can still look back on and enjoy. We've got the explosion charm down there, which indicates something happening suddenly, so you may get sudden guidance from your angels. And every single card pile in this reading today has got this key or a key, which indicates that you will find a solution to your situation. So I really love that every single pile, regardless of what the message was in the reading, has got a key which indicates solutions. So I love that. So let's get your dice on top, group 3, and then we'll do your Wheel of Wisdom spin. Sorry, group 4. Okay, we're rolling the 5th set of dice. That's the actions dice. They look like this. And we're rolling 6 of them for you today. So okay. So we've got this paper cutting through, the scissors cutting through paper here, which makes me think of cutting cords with someone or with a place, so kind of putting an end to something. I also see you trying to figure out whether something is the right option for you. And that's landed on the yes card. So if that's the position you're in, then the answer is definitely a yes. I see you putting the ball out there. When I get the ball in dice, it means energy being sent somewhere. So this person is throwing the ball up into the air, like they're sending energy to someone, or they are putting out an olive branch or an opportunity to someone. So I definitely see you as being prepared to talk to someone or prepared to welcome in a new opportunity, but you do feel burdened by something. And I just want to connect it to a person or place. You feel burdened or upset by something, and it's really weighing down quite heavily on you, but you can make peace with this situation. Whenever I get this charm, although it looks like she's playing, to me it looks like she's mediating between them, like she's saying, and now you say this and you say that and then hug. And that's this energy I do think you can make up with this person, or you can at least make your peace with the situation if you're feeling unhappy. And the catching the butterfly, going after your dreams, getting what you really want in the end. So I think you've got some nice dice there. So now we're going to do your Wheel of Wisdom spin to finish off your reading. So if you haven't seen it before, Wheel of Wisdom looks like this. This is the front side and the back side. So I will be spinning both sides because you can spin them separately, and all you need to do is think of a question where you need advice or guidance, or if you can't phrase it as a question, just think of an issue in your life where you need advice on it or you need some guidance on this issue, and then I'm going to spin the wheel. You can ask yes or no questions, but the way that the answers are phrased in the guidebook, it's probably best just to think of something where you need some advice. So if you need more time, that's fine, just pause the video. If you have your question now, just think about it while I spin the wheel. So group 4, what is the answer to your question? Okay, we've got 67 there, so let's look in the guidebook and see what that can tell us. Okay, so the guidebook says, if you're considering giving up your principles in order to achieve something, then you're right. That's what will bring you closer to your goal. If your question is about reaching a compromise or conflict resolution, flexibility and concession will be very helpful for success. What you want is on its way to fulfillment. Wow, oh my goodness, the Wheel of Wisdom has been so on point with every reading, like it's really reflected what has been said in every reading. So if some of you are worried that you're going to have to be underhand, or that you're going to have to, you know, do something that you wouldn't necessarily want to do normally in order to achieve something, then the wheel is saying that yes, that is what would need to be done in order to achieve what you're hoping for. If you're trying to reach a resolution of a conflict with someone or come to a compromise with someone, then you will need to be agreeable and flexible in order for that to happen. But what you want is on its way to fulfillment. So that's a really lovely message. Now, if that didn't answer your question, group 4, I'm going to spin the back side for you as well. So let's see, group 4, think of your question. Okay, so we've got number, it was kind of in between. Yeah, let's go with 18. Number 18. So group 4. If you cooperate with a like-minded person or any group of people that think and operate as you do, then your success and satisfaction are assured. Learn to enjoy what you have already accomplished. So cooperating with someone that has the same goals as you or thinks the same way as you or does things the same way as you will help you to achieve success and fulfillment, but also you should be very proud of what you've already accomplished. So don't forget about how far you've come or what you've already achieved, group 4. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I would really love it if you would consider subscribing to the channel or giving this video a big thumbs up as well if you enjoyed it. Also, feel free to comment below. Let me know how it resonated with you. I do try to reply to all of your comments because I do love reading all of them. And I just like to let you know that I've seen your comment and that I hear what you're saying. If you'd like to help out the channel in any way, we've got links in the description as to how you can do that. As I said before, we've got the Instagram page, which is fairly new for the channel, and I'm trying to do daily cards and weekly picker cards on there as well. All of these links are in the description box. I've got a Patreon page, which is like a monthly subscription thing where you get exclusive content and you get to know me a little bit better, and what you get rewards wise is based on what level you join at. But that's flexible, you can change that at any time, so check that out if you're interested in that. I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations to the channel, and I have a tarot and oracle wish list over on Amazon. Really want to say thank you to everyone who's donated in that way, because it really means a lot to me, and it's meant that I've got some of the decks that I'm able to use today, because some of those were gifted and some of them were bought with donations. So thank you to all of you lovely people who've decided to do that. And of course, anyone who wants to book a private reading or an angel healing session with me, the Etsy page where you can do that is linked in the description box as well. It's an Etsy shop. So thank you again for spending your time with me today, group 4. I really wish you all the best with whatever you decide to do career-wise. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye, take care.